As you think about some of the highlights of your own experience, which one or two experiences really stand out as those that have made an impact on you within the individual practitioner lens, or through the individual practitioner lens?
You want to start us off this time?
Okay. I don't know if it's one or two specifically, but just some of the final presentations, the process of getting to the presentation was much more valuable than the actual product itself. Because, so we're a TK through 6 single school district, and so it's just us. Being able to have the network of Habit of Mind practitioners is amazing, and with the cohort it was fantastic, and such a great opportunity to realize how important the work is and bounce those ideas off of your colleagues. But as a self-reflective process, creating some of those presentations really helped me reflect on the successes and struggles of getting to the point that we were at, and about my practice as an educator. So I think just actually in general, not just specifically, but those really helped the reflective process and that self-assessment piece.
So we, at the end of every 6 weeks, you can see up behind them, there's the awareness badge and implementation badge and assessment badge. What I think you're referring to is, at the end of the awareness badge, there was a Pixar story presentation, and it was the reflection that led up to your creation that was so impactful. Gotcha. Thanks.
So there's, I have a 3-year-old grandson, but at the time, he was 18 months, and we had to do a project. I can't remember whether it was awareness or it was, but anyway, it was in one of the projects where we had to really reflect on development and the habits of mind. And I started to take pictures of my grandson doing different things around the house, and my daughter and I started to really look at the 16 habits and observe Elijah through the lens of these 16 habits, and we were really shocked to see that really he possessed 12 of the 16 habits just naturally. And I started to really consider what is the developmental trajectory of the habits of mind, but also I think the thing that we really talked about was, if we're born with all of these, what happens to us? You know, how are we trained out of our own natural habits of mind, and why do we need to then relearn them? And you know, how could education do better? In particularly early childhood, but also all the way through elementary, you know, how can we affirm and help the kid to see their own habits of mind? So anyway, that was a pretty profound revelation for me.
I remember a lot of our discussions about your grandson and
Yeah.
how you saw them as he was playing out these ideas. Those were some of the best conversations I've had.
Yeah, nice.
Just natural of the habits of mind.
Yeah, thank you.
So I definitely had two. One, unlike him, I realized that I was not a master of any of the 16 habits, and that I had an awful lot of growing to do. And, you know, and what you said, I think life happens, you know, innately. Hopefully we are born with these 16 habits, but things happen in our lives that negate us being able to move forward and to cultivate our own internal growth and sense of well-being. And so I think for me, what was helpful is that I realized, Pam, you don't know any of these 16, maybe just a little bit, but that's okay, because even though you're 1,000 years old, you're gonna learn and grow. And then I was able to take that back with the gifted students that I was working with. So essentially for me, what was powerful is that I was learning about these 16 habits of mine at the same time that I was working with the students. And so we all had these awe-inspiring aha moments together, and we were learning and growing together. So I think for me that was very beautiful. The other thing though, and I know you will attest to this, I know
Yeah.
you will attest to this, I used it as also, and I do mean used it because I really needed it in that particular time in my life, and I still do. I don't think I had a dry eye anytime I went into our meetings. I cried, I ugly cried, I tried to calm myself crying, and it's because I was in a group of people that were so loving and so kind and so beautiful, and I had a lot of struggles, and I really was not thinking flexibly. I was a pain in the rear end, to be honest, and I think that, you know, we talk about having this growth mindset. I was very fixed in some ways, and so for me, what was beautiful is having a very supportive group of people who cared about me and that I cared back, that we were able to grow together, and they helped me through so many processes. And I mean, Craig was always available, you know, nights, mornings, weekends, whatever, and I would call him up crying, oh, this happened at work, I don't know how to get through it, and just giving me the skills to be able to work through those situations in real time was just incredibly helpful. And so, you know, I still feel like a child with habits of mine, and even though it's been quite some time, I'm still learning and growing.
Well, let me just say one thing, and that is that I think that what your genuineness in those situations allowed everybody else to be genuine too, and to be vulnerable and to talk about the things they were struggling with at work, or how they were struggling with certain habits of mind for themselves. I think it was really alchemy. I do.
Oh, thank you.